Hi, good morning everyone. How are we all? This is Matthew, and we're gonna do some yoga again this morning. So I'm just gonna wait a few seconds until I make sure I got a few people there and that people can hear me. So put a comment in the comment section once you can hear me, yeah? Good morning, Cassie. How are we? Can you hear me okay? Good morning, Sarah. Just give me a shout, give me a comment, make sure you can hear me. Can someone throw me a little yes in the comment section? Hi, Carl. Can you hear me talk? Okay, while I wait for you to throw me, good morning, Mia. While you wait, I wait for you to throw me a little comment acknowledging you can actually hear what I'm saying. I'm going to ask you, oh, great. Yes, I got a few yeses. Okay, great. I'm going to ask you, please, to actually go and grab, actually, you don't have to have this. If you have tight shoulders today, please go grab yourself a towel. Like, I literally just grabbed the tea towel from the kitchen, right? Could be anything. If you don't have tight shoulders or you don't have a towel nearby, don't worry. You'll get through it just fine, okay? But really good to have one just in case, yeah? So, when you've done that, let's come to the mat. We'll just put that aside for a second. We don't really need it for like the first part. Let's see, which way should I face? Maybe this way. Just a little brighter. So it's a bit of a dark day today in Sydney. So not as much natural lighting. So we'll get through it. That's all right. We'll just come to rest sitting on your heels first, okay? And then once you sit on your heels, then I want you to bring your forehead gently down towards the ground, and we'll just come to child pose that way. We want to sit on the heels first, just to try and rest our hips down. Feel that sense of grounding, connecting with the mat. And then when you bring your forehead down to the floor, if the hips come away from the heels, that's okay. Just let it happen. Just take a few nice deep breaths in here. Just bring your awareness to the mat. Letting everything else just sit in a different place for a moment. Not thinking about what else is happening. Just giving yourself the permission to focus on you for the next hour. Reach your fingertips forward. Let those elbows come off the floor. As you do that, maybe when you're breathing, you feel the ribcage just expand, stretch out a little more. If you're making audible sound while you're breathing, that's perfectly fine. In fact, almost encouraged. Do the last couple of breaths for me here. Now, gently walk yourself back up to all fours, tabletop. And from here, we're going to flow through cat-cow, right? So, as I take a breath in, scoop the chest forward, belly towards the mat, hip up towards the ceiling. On the breath out, chin to chest. Draw the rib cages together. And let's just flow through this for a few more breaths in your own time and rhythm. Really encourage you to close the eyes. Can you feel as you draw a breath in, it just brushes past the back of your throat. And maybe as you breathe out, you push into the floor a little more, giving you that extra little arch in the back, letting you draw the heart towards the ceiling a little bit more. Last one. Bring it back to center. And now we did this last week. Let's try it again. Nice and easy. We're just going to start drawing little semicircles with the hips, taking it from one side to the other. So it's a little dark here. I'll try and step back into the light. Now, we're going to take the hips one side, then the other, just doing little semicircles. And as I keep going, I'm going to start grounding one elbow down. Yeah? When my hips go to the right, the left elbow grounds down. And when my hips go to the left, the right elbow grounds down. And then when you feel loose enough, let's take it to the full circle. But I still want to ground the elbows when the hips come towards the back. Just freeing up the whole spine and hips. And don't forget to take it the other way as well, yeah? Make sure you take it both directions. Don't forget to breathe. I might just turn the lights on. Hopefully that's a little easier to see me. I think it's about to rain. Alright. So once you've done that, we'll come back to the center. And from here, I want to go towards puppy dog pose, but I only want to do it one side at a time. So let's actually start by reaching your left hand out in front. So I want you to basically reach your one side out in front as far as you can, and letting the weight of your torso stretch open all those muscles underneath the armpit and rib cages, right? My hips are still above my knees, as you can see. So the goal here is to really open up all of that space around the rib cage, underneath the armpit on one side. You're not dumping all the weight onto that right hand. Breathe into it. Now let's come back up. We'll go to the other side. So this time, walking the right fingertips out, dialing that right armpit towards the floor, bending in the left elbow. One more breath in here. And just let it go, melt into it a little bit more. Alright, now we've done each side by itself. Let's do both sides at the same time. So let's walk the fingertips forward. Try and bring the chin or the chest towards the floor. If that's too challenging for you, just bring the forehead to the floor. And once you arrive here, just take 3 to 4 deep, slow breaths in and release the breath. Now let's slowly come back up. Whew. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit looser in the upper body now as well. Okay, so let's take my right leg back. Okay, so I'm going to come to this kind of supported side plank position. Left knee down. And from here, I'm just going to reach my arms forward, stretch out, open through that side body. Get nice and long. Start to feeling that stretch into the side. And now, just ground your right hand back for a moment. I'm going to take my left foot slightly more out to act as a bit of a kickstand, right? Grab my left hand, and then see if you can lift up your right leg and open up into a kneeling half moon. So I think we've done something similar last week, right? Flex the toes. And try and find that point where the right hip stacks above the left. And if you can, reach around, grab that foot, come to the kneeling Shavasana. Now, I'm actually I want you to focus on opening up your chest and shoulders rather than how close you bring that heel into your bum. And once again, if you want to play a little, try and find that point where the hips stack, align, come to the fingertips, and maybe, just for a second, bring everything together, let the hands go. Don't worry, I always fall when I do that. So if you fall, that's great as well, right? It's just playing a little bit. Don't stress, we don't have to get it perfect. And then let go of the foot. Okay, so coming back to that modified side plank, from here, we're going to thread the needle. Breath out, thread the right arm through. Get that extra deep side stretch. Breath in, reach up again. When we thread it through and we breathe out, find that extra little twist. Let's go one more. Nice. Okay, don't switch yet. We're going to come up. Okay? So from here, we want to work through gate pose. So we're going to take a breath in, sweep the left arm back. And on the breath out, come back down. Breath in. Breath out. Now I'm not too fussed on how you breathe. If you want to switch your breath in and breath out, change it the other way around to what works for you. That's fine with me. Couple more here. And bring it all back down. We'll go back to tabletop. Okay? You stay same side. I'm going to switch just so you can see me a little better. Okay? So, now, we're going to come to a modified side plank on the right side, yeah? From here, just reach that left arm forward. Try and get that nice stretch through the side body. Very good. And now, kick my right foot out a little bit behind me, act as a kickstand. We're going to flow through gate pose first on this side. Take a breath in and breath out. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. One last one. Reach up, lean back, and lower down. Beautiful. From here, we're going to go into our little side twist. Okay, so breath in, thread the needle, twist to the right. Let's go again. Breath in, reach up. Breath out, thread it through. Let's do two more. And when you're done, reach back up. Now from here, we're going to go into that kneeling half moon, right? So let's see if you can take that top leg up. Find that point where your left hip stacks nicely above the right. Now if it feels good, maybe grab the foot, come for Uttanasana. Now I want you to focus on opening the chest, right? So maybe kick into that hand a little bit more. If you feel any tension, just bring your awareness back to your breath. Now if you want to play, come to the fingertips. Now you got to draw everything in, right? Kind of squeeze your pelvic floor so you can keep the pelvis stable, right? Now, come to the fingertips and maybe just lift it off for a little bit. Oh, and bring it back down. Oh, nice. Okay, let's release the foot. Come back to your normal tabletop. If you need a bit of a child pose to rest at home, please feel free. You feel alright? Let's come along. So, we're going to tuck the toes now, lift the knees, float the knees, and then step it back. Come to downward facing dog. Once you're arriving in down dog, I love to pedal my feet out. If you like to stay in stillness or do something else, please feel free. And something else I like to do is to try and synchronize the grounding of the heels with my breath out. So if that works for you, give it a try. Let's do a couple more. Just pedal the feet out. And now, let's take both heels up and then spin them to the right. As you do that, make sure you don't dump all the way to the right hand. Shift the body a little bit back towards the midline so the weight is more evenly distributed between the left and right. So if you can feel that nice deep stretch traveling from my left armpit into the side body. Let's take it to the other direction. Both heels pass through the center and then take them to the left. Shift the weight back into the midline. Even it up between both hands. Okay, let's Bring the heels back to the center. We're going to look towards the hands. Let's walk the feet in. Nice and slow. Keeping the legs straight as long as possible. And let your head come to a forward fold. Crown of the head draws towards the floor. Let gravity elongate the spine. Let the chest soften to the thighs. Now, on the next breath in, halfway lift, forward fold, breathe out. Bend the knees, slowly roll the spine up into standing. Sweep the arms out, big breath in. On the breath out, we interlace the hands behind your back. Breath in, open the chest towards the ceiling. Breath out, let's fold it forward. Maybe we send the hands forward a little this time. Release the hands. Halfway lift. Breath in. Fold it forward, breath out. Step it back to your high plank. If you need to come to your knees, that's okay. Otherwise, we take a breath in, lean forward. Breath out, chaturanga down. Breath in for upward dog. And downward dog, breath out. So that's just a very, very basic flow that just to help our body warm up, get into the zone. If you like to do that a couple more times, come along with me. If you feel like you need to add or take away something in that, feel free to make it yours as well, okay? So, look to the hands. We're going to step the feet forward. Halfway lift, breath in. Fold it forward, breath out. Roll the spine up into standing, nice and slow. Take your time on this big, juicy breath in. Sigh the breath out. Interlace the hands behind. Breath in, open the heart. Length backwards. And on the breath out, let the chest come to the thighs. Maybe send the hands forward a little. And let's release the hands. Halfway lift, breath in. Fold it forward, breath out. Ground the hands. Step it back. Breath in, lean forward. Breath out, chaturanga down. Upward dog or cobra, breath in. Breath out, downward facing dog. Gonna do that one more time, okay? This time feel free to hop or step the feet in. Look to your hands. Bring the feet in. Halfway lift, breath in. Fold a forward, breath out. Slowly roll the spine up into standing. Big breath in. And on the breath out, interlace the hands behind the back. Maybe stay here for an extra breath this time. Just to feel the chest opening a little more. And on the breath out, let's fold it forward. Let those wrists come forward. Keep the palms pressed together. And as you release the hands, we're going to brush your fingertips along the mat. We're going to come to chair. Now when you try and sit the weight back into your heels a little bit more. And we're just going to do some gentle pulses here, right? Nice and gentle pulses. Try and keep the chest up, looking forward, not down at the mat. Now once you've found your deeper version of a chair, Shoulder forward. Halfway lift. Breath in. Breath out. Ground the hands. Step it back. Chaturanga your way down. Breath in. Upward dog or cobra. Breath out. Back into down dog. Just take a moment to gather yourself. Alright, now, on the next breath in, we're going to take the right leg up. Keep the hips square first. Now on the breath out, draw that right knee towards your nose. Breath in, kick it back up. Breath out, draw the knee in towards the nose. Kick it back up, breath in. Breath out, draw it in. Squeeze it towards your nose. And let's step it through. We're going to bring the back knee down. Oh, everyone with me? Everyone okay? Great. Alright. So from here, I'm actually going to untuck my back toes, sit my hip back into a half split, right? So if you like to go for a deeper half split, walk your front foot forward. Walk your front foot forward slightly. Make sure that back hip is above that right knee or forward. If you're tight in the hamstrings, feel free to use blocks or come to the fingertips or fist for support, yeah? And then we're just going to take a few nice deep breaths in. Imagine the hamstrings and the adductors soften, or the muscles inside of your thighs. Just gradually letting go. Maybe you can bring your chest a little closer to the thigh. Alright, now I'm going to start to bend into that front knee, okay? And maybe now I need to walk my front foot back a little. I'm going to come to lizard lunge, but today is a lizard lunge with a difference. So I'm going to just turn around to show you. So my back knee is down, yeah? When I come forward for lizard lunge, I want to try and work my right elbow underneath my right knee. So the crease of the knee is kind of on my tricep, right? Try and get there if you can. Okay. Now see if you can just hold this for a moment. If you feel any slight tension, just take a few breaths here. Ease into it. And over time, you should feel your hips soften a little more. Okay. Hopefully that elbow feels a bit more natural now underneath the right leg. Now, we're going to try and flow between the two postures, okay? So, sit the hip back, straighten that front leg, and on the breath in, work that elbow underneath the knee. And then sit the hips back. Breathe it out. Maybe fold a little deeper. Maybe go to the other side if you like. Breath in. Elbow under the knee. Scoot that chest forward. Try and sink the hip down towards the floor. That's a great way to think about it. Breath out. Sit the hip back. Let's just flow through this at your own speed for the next 3 breaths. Yeah? There's no need to rush. I just want to stretch these muscles whilst moving to give it a little bit more range for what's to come. All right. So hopefully everyone has done 3. I'm just going to turn back to the side so you can see what we're doing next. All right. So for the next part, it's going to challenge your balance a little bit, but you'll be fine. Okay? Now untuck the back toes, right? So the whole shin can rest on the floor. Let's interlace our fingers, do a pistol grip, send the hips forward. Take a breath in. Oh, feel that juicy stretch into your right hip and left as well. Now, we're going to take another breath in here, and then on the breath out, release the hands and see if you can press yourself up into aeroplane pose. And we're going to hold it here in aeroplane pose, and then lower it down with control. Ground the back knee down. Take a breath in. Send the hips forward. And on the breath out, come up, push up into aeroplane. If you fall, if you need to put your hand on something, that's all right. Happens to me too. Ground the knee down. Breath in. Breath out. Just go as slow as you need. Steady yourself. Come up into aeroplane pose. One more. And last one. We'll ground the knee down. Again, if you have knee problems, don't worry about this too much. Alright, coming up to aeroplane. Meet me here, however you wish, and we'll lower the back foot down. Coming to the normal crescent lunge. Whew. Reaching the fingertips up towards the sky. Bending into that standing leg a little bit more. Take a breath in. Lift the torso on the breath out. Let's open out into Warrior 2. Make sure you adjust your feet so the front foot intersects the middle of the back foot if you draw an imaginary straight line. Bending into that front knee. Make sure when you look down, you can see your big toe. Once you've got your stance, let's then worry about the arms. See if you can bring the shoulders directly above the pelvis. Just take a couple of breaths here in Warrior 2. And now, let's flip the front palm. Reverse the warrior. Big breath in. And on the breath out, let's come to side angle. Dial that left armpit towards the ceiling. Let's go again. We're going to go breath in, reverse warrior. Breath out, side angle. Breath in, reverse warrior. Breath out, side angle. Last one. Now this time when I go back for reverse warrior, let's straighten the front leg. And when I come to level, see if you can actually tuck your back hand into a half bind, right? Now, then, bend into that front leg again. Come to side angle. See if you can hold that half bind, keeping the chest towards the front, or towards the side, sorry, the left side. Now, you want to try and reach for that little gap between the rib cage and the thigh, right? So this is where, if your shoulders are a bit tight, that little towel or strap may come in very handy. So we're going to try a reverse warrior, keeping the half bind, and on the breath out, come to side angle, breath in, breath out. Now on the next breath in, we straighten the front leg, and we're going to shorten the stance. Come to triangle, keep the half bind if you can. So I still want to turn my chest to the left. I don't want to collapse and start to turn my chest to the floor. So if that means today you don't go so low, you stay high on your triangle, then that's great, right? Just slide the hand down somewhere on the shin that's comfortable. Use that for support. Okay, now let's keep bending into that front knee. See if you can bring your fist or maybe fingertips or the whole palm onto the floor, bending into that front knee, and keep the chest turned to the left. Now, more than anything, you'll probably feel a really deep stretch into that front right hip, right? So maybe come to the fist like I am to support, so you can keep everything else nice and tight, but focus on opening up through that front hip. Now, if you're a little bit more experienced, you like to try for a full bind here. Then reach that bottom arm through. See if you can interlace the fingers or hook them together and come to your full bind. Now, if you need a little bit of help, this is where your little towel comes in. Reach around the back in your half bind. That hand can just reach around, grab the towel, right? So now you've got a lot more space to think about keeping your chest turned to the side. Okay? So take the variation that suits you. Nice. Let's let go of the hands. I'm going to sit the hip back, bend into the left knee. We're going to come to Skandasana. So once again, just go as low as you feel comfortable, right? Today's focusing Skandasana is actually more about that front leg, stretching into the adductors and the hips. If you need to stay on the hands, like I'm demonstrating now, please feel free. Even though I can do it without the hands, I always feel it really nice to just spend like the first 20, 30 seconds or so on the hands, so I can really tune into where it's tight in my hips today. And then, of course, if you like to take the hands off, do so. If you like to try something different today, we can open the hands, open the arms, but that relies on you grounding the heel in that left foot. If you can't get there, that's okay. We'll just stay on the hands on the floor. Okay, now, if you can, push off the back foot. Come towards the front. All right. Now, we're going to go into our full bind again. And we're going to work towards a tree pose or bird of paradise. Okay? So if you need your little towel to help you get to the full bind position, make sure you're using it. Okay? Now, if you don't need it, of course, just come to full bind. It's a little more secure that way. So, just taking a couple breaths in full bind first. Because we've done it before, hopefully it feels a little easier second time around. Now what I want to do is walk my back foot in, or my feet together, whichever way you like. Now, all I would like you to think about is, for today, just come to a tree pose. Just come to a little tree pose. Now, see if you can just lift your right knee up. Use that full bind to support. Okay? Of course, if you have the full bird of paradise, feel free to work into extending that right leg. But you don't have to, okay? We can do a bit more work on that either tomorrow or a different session. Just come to that little tree pose or extend the leg. Now, if you can't quite keep this, don't worry. Just let the hands go. Come to a normal tree pose. Now, stay with me. One more breath. And let's lower it down. Let's come to a Y forward fold. I'm sure that was pretty challenging for most of us. Now let's just gently think about letting the crown of the head come towards the floor. If you happen to be able to land on your elbows, then great. If not, that's okay. We'll just use this opportunity to reconnect with our breath. Open up more through the hips. Okay, now we're going to turn to the other side, okay? So we're going to turn to the opposite side. You can stay on the same side on your mat, that's okay. I'm just going to turn to this side so you can see me a little bit better, okay? Optional chaturanga here as well for everyone. If you'd like to step it back into high plank, chaturanga down. Otherwise, meet me in downward facing dog. Take a moment to settle in your down dog. Now on the next breath in, we're going to lift up the left leg now. Keep the hips square, toes pointing down. Breath out, curl the knee in towards the nose. Kick back up, breath in. Breath out, curl the knee in towards the nose. Kick back up. On the third one, let's go for it. Let's really draw it in towards the nose. See, we can almost tap it together. And now, let's step it in front. Lower the back knee down. From here, untuck the back toes. Straighten the front leg. Maybe walk that front heel forward a little. Let's come to a half split. So we really want to try and open the hips, stretch your hamstring on this side. It's going to help us with where we are going. If you like to scoop the chest on the breath in to help you get a little more stretch, please feel free. Just like we did in cat and cow. Once you feel like that front hamstring starts to soften, just think about drawing the chest to the thigh. And now, let's bend into that front knee. Okay? So, like before, we're going to think about taking the left elbow underneath, right? So, try and work that left elbow through that gap underneath the left leg, resting the crease of the left thigh on the triceps. Let the hip open up, right? Okay, now we're going to flow between the two. So sit the hip back, come into half split, and then we're going to move it forward, work that left arm underneath, and then breath out. Sit the hip back, take a breath in, work that left arm underneath, scoop that chest forward. Just keep flowing through this motion, okay? Don't worry about how fast or how slow you go. Okay, last one. And we're going to come back into a lunge. Untuck the back toes. Interlace the fingers. Pistol grip. Take a breath in. Send the hips forward. Feel that deep stretch into the right hip flexors. And on the breath out, let go of the hands, right? Tuck the back toes if you need. Use it to help you find your aeroplane pose. Okay? Really good to keep that back leg stiff. And then rebend into the knee. Lower back down. Big breath in. Send those hips forward. On the breath out, come into aeroplane. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Now, slowly, lower back down. Let's give me one more. And a big aeroplane. Find stillness. If you wobble a little, that's okay. Slowly, lower the back foot down. Find yourself in crescent lunge. Crescent lunge never felt so easy, huh? Now, draw the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Energy all the way to the fingertips. Take a breath in. Lift the torso high and then open up into Warrior Two. Once again, the focus is our feet first. Make sure you have an imaginary line going through the middle of the back foot. Then you bend into the front knee. Make sure you can see your big toe. Then you worry about your hands. Make sure the shoulders directly above the pelvis. Take your gaze down the middle finger of the front hand. We're going to flip the palm, reversal warrior. And on the breath out, sweep it forward, side angle. We're going to do plenty more of these, so don't worry. Breath in, reversal warrior. Breath out, side angle. Breath in, reversal warrior. Breath out, side angle. This time, take the top hand all the way around. Bring it into that half bind first. If you feel like you need more space, straighten the leg, feel free, and then re-bend into it. Alright? Keep that chest turned to the side. Now, let's take a breath in. Reverse warrior. Keep that half bind. And breath out, side angle. Breath in, reverse warrior. Breath out, side angle. One more. And now we've straightened the front leg. And maybe step the feet a little closer together. We're going to lean forward. Come into a triangle pose with the half bind. Remember, use that back arm to keep the hips square. And chest turn to the right. Maybe for a moment, just bring all of your awareness into that space between your eyebrows and nose. See if you can bring all your awareness and focus there. And connect with the breath. And magically, when you don't focus on the rest of your body, sometimes it will just open up a little more. Now let's rebend into that front knee. Ground the fist, fingertips, or whole palm, whatever's comfortable for you. See if you can come to a deeper version of a down side angle. So once again, you really want that left knee pushing against my left tricep, trying to open up the hips, right? Now, if you needed that towel or cloth on the other side, feel free to use it again. We're going to take it on the top hand, take it around the back, and then reach through, grab it, right? Of course, if you don't need it, just reach around, find that full bind. We're going to take 3 breaths here. Deep breath in and slow breath out. Deep breath in, slow breath out. One more. Breath in and release the breath. Now let go of the hands. Bend into the back leg. Come into Skandasana on the other side. So again, feel free to support if you need. We really want to open up in the left leg. Whew. If you can come off the hands, do it. If you feel like you benefit more from supporting the hands on the floor, stay there. slowly shift the weight towards the front. We're going to come back into our side angle pose with the full bind if you can, right? Hopefully it's a little bit easier this time because we already done it once before. And maybe you can open the chest a little more. Now, if you don't have that full bind, don't worry, just work to tree pose. Come to tree. So we're going to walk our feet together. Now, make sure you focus all your awareness on that right foot, the standing foot. Come to the ball of the left foot first, and then slowly but steadily push off. And aim to keep your full bind. Alright, so today, just get here if you can. Now, of course, if you're a little more advanced, you want to straighten that front leg out, go for it. Keep the chest nice and tall. Draw the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Take a bend to rest if you need. Or just stay here in tree. Okay, let's go for one more. And lower back down. Let go of the hands. Whew. Come to a forward fold. Maybe this time you can get those elbows towards the floor a little more. Nice work, everyone. That was quite challenging today, so if you manage to get into the tree pose with a full bind, you're doing really well. Now, step your left foot to your right. We're going to work our way down to the mat now. I might do a little bit of core today. Since we're all in lockdown, we need our exercise. Let's do a little bit of core. Alright. So, we'll come to boat pose. Now, if you need to grab onto the back of your legs, do so. Otherwise, face the palm to the ceiling. Now, when we're breathing, we'll lower down. Don't let the top of the shoulders touch the floor. Come back up, breath out. Breath in, lower. Breath out, come up. Let's do 10 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nice work. Place your palm down on the floor. Now we're going to do a little bit of an add-on, okay? Because I just thought of it. Now, I'm going to face you. We're going to do V-sits, okay? So basically, same position as before, but we're going to basically go from side to side, okay? So let's say I start on the left, extend, bring it back up. You can use your hands for support the whole time. Now go to the right, bring it back in. Go to the left, bring it back in. Let's add the center as well. So center, right, center, left, center, right, center, left. Let's go for 2 more rounds. Center, right, center, left, center, right, center, last one, left. Ooh, I'm feeling it. I don't know about you. Let's come down to the mat. Let's all do a bridge pose. Lift the hips up, interlace the fingers behind the back, roll those shoulders underneath, open the chest. Let those abdominal muscles relax. Let's lower the hips down. Let's hugging our right knee. Give it a nice delicious squeeze. And twist it to the left. Or feel free to go into any side twist version you like. Stay longer there if you need. Or we'll go to the other side. Hug the left knee in. Give it a squeeze. Twist it to the right. Make sure you're looking to the opposite side of where you're twisting. Feel free to stay here longer if you need. Or let's bring the hips back down. Find yourself in a happy baby pose, grabbing either the outside of the feet or the big toes with your pistol fingers. And we'll just work on grounding the sacrum into the floor. Open the hips. If your hips are already quite open, because that's what we've been doing all class, then feel free to straighten out your legs if you like. From here, you got about 30 seconds to do what you would like to end the practice. If you'd like to take the legs behind into plow, feel free. If you prefer something else, maybe you can do a Supta Baddha Konasana, something more restorative to get ready for our Shavasana. And when you're ready, just slowly make your way down to the mat. Let the hips come to the floor. Feel free to either have your legs straight or feet touch, knees out wide. Just make sure your palms are facing the ceiling and hands by our side. And when you're ready, let's all take a big breath in, close our eyes, and sigh that breath out. Just give yourself the permission to really let go and enjoy the next couple of minutes. Slowly bring some awareness back into your fingertips. Maybe give them a little wriggle, or if you prefer to stay where you have arrived at, just stay there a little longer. There's no rush to get up. If for any reason you feel like the time to get up for you is right about now, and just take a deeper breath in. Gently roll onto one side. Take a couple breaths here first. Let things settle. And then, from here, gently come to a sitting position of your choice. Thank you everyone for joining me this morning. Really appreciate it. Once again, my name is Matthew. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to reach out to me or make a comment. And yeah, we will do something similar, but a progression from today as well. Or maybe we'll just do a few additional poses that will help us to get into bird of paradise, unless I change my mind. Alright, so on that note, thank you guys so much for joining me. And on behalf of myself and the Bodyfit team, please have a great day. And I will go and check the comments now to see if there's any questions. If not, I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright, seems like we don't have any further questions. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Namaste. Bye.